Up, guys? Hey, man. Good to see you guys, man. Haven't been around in a while, but I thought I'd make a video, man. I got inspired by Happy Console Gamer. He did a video about box art, so I thought I'd go through and do some of my favorite box arts, man. So I hope everyone's doing good, man. So, I want to start off with some of my old Master System games, and that right there, this Phantasy Star box art is classic, and what I like about it is just like seeing Alice there as the main character. You know, you have a female like heroine, and it just works. It embodies what this game is. You know, really, the thing about Phantasy Star, it's an RPG. Back in the days when RPGs weren't really known to have good graphics, because everything was about the how big the quest was and the memory that it took to make like a big game. This game is not just a big game in terms of scope, but big in terms of graphics. So Phantasy Star's, the bomb. Let's see. It's another favorite. Now, I'm not gonna pretend like I have these are like the all-time greatest, but these are just the ones I just kind of pulled out because they just kind of just stuck out for me. Forgotten Worlds, man. Capcom 1988 CPS1 arcade game, translated to the Mega Drive, and I had this game back in the day, but I specifically bought the Japanese version just because of the box art. And I think it's true that Mega Drive games have the just bomb box art. I mean, look at that. I mean, Super Soldiers, what they call? I think they're called the Nameless ones. Dude, I've always loved Forgotten. I love everything about Forgotten Worlds. All the, like the whole mythos, like the design, like the aliens, just how it kind of has this techno fantasy. It's all types of stuff intertwined with this like Egyptian mysticism, dragons, and just this game is just awesome. It always was. A lot of people say that the Master System does have good box art, but I think Lord of the Sword has a really good fantasy box art. Got a swordsman there, and like a setting sun. Kind of reminds me of like Rygar, you know. But this is a really kind of cool adventure game. If I could say, if it's like any other game, I would say this is. I would compare this to like Adventure of Link. Was it Part 2? Yeah, Legend of Zelda Part 2. It kind of reminds me of that. This is a really pretty decent game. Another game that I purchased just because of prefer the Japanese box art. Now this was a very cheap game because I think everyone in Japan who had a Mega Drive had Landstalker, but look at that style of artwork. I think this is way superior than what they had in the American box art. This guy went on to do a lot of the box arts. What was the other game that they have on the PlayStation? Alundra, yeah. I mean, really cool. This really gives you a sense of like that adventurer style of game. Swordsman, going after treasure, cool. Now, this game is not a Mega Drive game. This is actually a Genesis game. Now, this game gets a really good pass because look how just freaking evil this cover is for Kadash, the American version. Now, this artist right here is the artist who did the arcade games. You could totally tell it's his style. That's what you'd see on the kind of like the cabinets. Not for this particular game, because this game, from what I understand, only came out on the American market. Never even came out here. Or came out in Japan. Isn't that weird? Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think there's a Japanese Mega Drive Kadash. And this artwork, that is really from that movie. There was that 80s movie, but you could tell that kind of influenced really dark, evil stuff, man. Let's see what we got here. Okay, before I go up with that one. Afterburner 2. The Japanese version, reason why, is because it's got a freaking F-14. And that's what this game's all about. It's about flying the F-14. If you got the American version, they put like a generic picture of an F-15, man. That always bothered me. That used to bother me. Japanese versions of most box art to me is just so much better, man. Even the presentation, even the back, dude, if you saw this back in the day, you'd be salivating, wanting to get this. It's like, oh man, this is arcade at home. Even though it's not, it's a good version of Afterburner. I'm not going to say it's the best out there, especially for you guys who have a lot of those really exotic Japanese platforms. Now this is what I'm talking about. See, this is the American version of Shadow Dancer. This one always bothered me because I just think this is just a horrible box art. And I've always wanted to get the Japanese version of Shadow Dancer so I can get the Japanese box art, which I think is way superior to this. But the game is still awesome. But the box art, the Americanized box art, I always thought that was just like, look like cheesy scene, and you know, it's just like, it's so cheesy. But anyways, just real quick, now of course, everyone knows, have you seen my, how long have I had this as my, my icon, man, this Aero Blasters. Like, I think that this looks like this should have been like an anime or a manga. Everything about this game was always badass to me, but like, you can even see, like, this looks like this should have been like a television show, like an anime. And like the attention to detail on the ship mecha designs, awesome. It always was awesome. And the PC Engine has this kind of cover too. It's a little similar to that, but just for the characters, you tell. I always had a crush on Holly. That's how crazy I was, man. I'm gonna talk. But yeah, but just of course, man. You know it's all about Neo Geo because you guys are a lot of Neo Geo guys. But damn, man, like, you know that Harumaru looking like that, just staring at you like, what's up? You know, always been a classic. Look at how my fade. That's gonna take the value down, but I don't care. This is my copy I bought back in the day, back in 1994. Harumaru just staring, that SNK just stare, man. Like, bad ass stuff right here. But just lastly, my favorite, even though all my games just fell, but my favorite is Geese Howard looking like a boss. Real Bout Fatal Fury. This is the Japanese version. I love Real Bout, man. But that's probably one of my, Geese is just the boss. You got Hopper, and I think is that Billy Khan? Yeah, or Ripper, one of his thugs. But that's boss, man. So, anyways, I just thought I'd just do a little quick vid, man. You know, I've been making no content at all. I feel bad about that, but still watch you guys, and hope everyone's doing good. Look at my mess right here. Created. It's like an earthquake. It's like California earthquake, man. But other than that, just chilling, man. I got going my Japanese Saturn. I put my Japanese Saturn over here. I've had it over here for a while. It's kind of like my little work desk. I've been messing around with some other stuff. I'll share that with you guys too, man. So, anyways, hope everyone's doing good, man. Take it easy.